कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So today's the auspicious Govardhan Puja. Like we'll start with one of my favorite verses in the Govardhan Lila. So this helps a lot in the practice of sadhana. So I'll just share the screen. So this is, let's all try to recite. Krishna Krishna Mahabhaga
Krishna Krishna Mahabhaga
Tvannatam Gokulam Prabho Ratumarhasi Devanaha Kupitad Bhaktavatsala. So this is a very nice verse for meditation. So one of the important features of Govardhan Lila, which is very much relevant to us, is that there, the Vrajavasis, they were tormented by the onslaught of Indradev. So, but then here we see in our condition, so we are constantly affected, by the material modes of nature, and it is the difference between the like devotees of the Lord and the materialist, or materialist are in general they are called as Vishnu Bhakta Bhagavad Daiva. Who are the others? So materialists have another name, so they are called asuras. Krishna. So the materialists are also called as asuras. So the general tendency of asuras is that so they, any problem happens, they would like to take care of by themselves. So they would not like to take shelter of Krishna, take shelter of any devotee and things like that. So here we see that the amazing nature of the devotees of the Lord is that always they seek shelter. Always they seek shelter. So even we see in the case of, like in Gita course also we present that when Arjuna was going through so much of difficulty, so he didn't have any this one like what will people think if I ask some this one from Krishna. So I'm a great warrior. Everybody actually looks up to me as a great person. So how can I say like no, I don't know, like I'm confused, like no, how can I ask this thing? So he never had this one. So one of the amazing aspects of a devotee is that he understands his insignificant nature, and whatever capacity that he has got, even if he has got something, he thinks that it is all by the mercy of the Lord. And anytime any problem is there, so he would not think that what will happen to my image. He will naturally go and take shelter of Krishna. So it's a very, very important this one phenomena that we can see. And we see in the other case, the demons, whenever they like get any problem, so be it they go to demigods. Sometimes they go to demigods, but we see that like they go to the demigods. They say like, you give your power, you give your assistance, then I will do whatever I want. So like I just want like your support. That's all. So here we see that like the difference between the demons going to the like support of higher authorities, like the demigods, and the devotees going to take shelter of Krishna. Krishna means also the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas and all. So like they going to this one when they have a problem is completely different. So when the devotees go, so they go always they are under shelter of Krishna. So they go and actually beg Krishna that you please protect us, because we are, for us everything is you only. So but then when the demons go and take shelter of demigods, they say like, no, we have a problem in our sense gratification, you just solve this problem and we'll continue. After that we don't have anything to do with you, right? So that is this one. So they, for them, like it is something that what is it? No, relief from their suffering is something like, no, they want to have a quick fix solution, and no, they just want to carry on, no, with what they want to do. So, but the devotees, no, for them, no, this Rakshashi, what is it? Uh,
Anukulas.
no, no, Rakshashi Iti Vishwasho. So, like, I, the Sanskrit I'm getting properly. So that, no, for them, that is a natural thing that always they feel that, no, we are under the protection of the Lord. No, whether they are able to do something nicely or whether they are crippled, no, always they feel that they are under the protection of the Lord. So that is a very, very important principle. So here we see that, remember the other shloka which Uttara says in similar lines? Pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagatpate nanyam twad avayam pasyet yatra mrityum parasparam. Yeah. So this is like something very, very close to that. Now this thing also, this shloka also. Krishna Krishna Mahabhaga. So, oh greatly fortunate one. No, oh Krishna, oh Krishna. And Tvam Natham Gokulam Prabhu. So you like from Natham, whose master is yourself, no, whose master Gokulam, the community of cows, and Prabhu, O Lord. So it's like, no, you are our master, and no, you should protect us. Pratumarhasi, kindly protect Devad, no, from the demigod Indra, no, us, Kupitad, who is angry, Bhakta Vatsala, you who are very affectionate to your devotees. So, here it's mentioned. The cowherd men and women address the Lord. Krishna, Krishna, O most fortunate one, please deliver the cows from the wrath of Indra. O Lord, you are so affectionate to your devotees. Please save us also. So, purport. At the time of Lord Krishna's birth, Gargamuni had predicted Anena Sarvadurghani Yuvilam Anjasi Tarishyatha. By His grace, you will easily cross beyond all difficulties. The residents of Vrindavan were confident in that in such a great emergency, Lord Sri Narayana would empower Krishna to protect them. They accepted Krishna as everything, and Krishna reciprocated their love. So they have seen this many, many times. This is not the first time. So anytime any demon comes or any problem comes, no, they have always seen this phenomena happen. So, and they had actually approached Krishna all the time. So with this, as a prime mood, so we'll try to see the pastime of Govardhan Lila in short, and then we'll come to this particular mood of taking shelter of Krishna, and also we will see, if time permits, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood in terms of approaching Govardhan. So now as we all know that how the whole cowherd community was arranging for Indra Puja, and Indra Puja was performed every year, and Krishna might have seen all these years also, but then at the age of 7, so he chose to question Nanda Maharaj. So when Indra Puja was so much of paraphernalia was arranged, so much food was getting cooked and things like that. So many things were arranged for the orchestration of the Indra Puja. And Krishna very humbly, like a very a boy, just like a small boy who doesn't know anything and who's inquisitive about everything. So whenever I hear this inquisitiveness, I always remember the other pastime also, where Lord Rama was taken by Vishwamitra. So when he was taken by Vishwamitra, he would ask, oh, this looks very nice. Like, what is this? Oh, this is Ganges. So like that, different things. They would ask. First time they are going out of home, and they're also having nice fun in the forest, and they're asking various things, and they're inquisitive and they're learning. So just like small kids, they are asking about everything. So recently we had gone to meet our Ayurvedic doctor, and there they were not celebrating Diwali because somebody had passed away in their home. So I'm the small kid over there. So she's asking me why we are not celebrating. What has happened? I know somebody has passed away. Where they have gone? All these things. And the doctor was telling it is quite difficult to answer all the questions the kids ask, because they want to understand everything. No, after some time we become little big, our inquisitive nature goes down. ठीक है, like ऐसे ही होता होगा. Like so we don't become so inquisitive. So but then the kids are quite inquisitive, and we see that no, Krishna was quite inquisitive here. No, what is this yajna all about? Why we are doing, and no, to whom it is meant for? No, like to whom to please whom we are actually doing this yajna and things like that. So at least this concept, I found it's like quite a nice this one, that in the childhood and all, like we used to see that yajnas are performed. So we never knew that behind yajna there should be some deity to be pleased. So at least like we see, Krishna knows everything, but at least the Vedic times, people knew that we are performing things for the pleasure of somebody. We are performing things for like pleasing somebody and things like that. So no, Krishna is asking all these things, and first response from Nanda Maharaj is no response. So that is like no, he's thinking that what is a small boy asking, like no, how much to no answer. If I answer the first question, then again the second question will come, third question will come. So now it is time for preparation of this India. And no, we cannot like how much to kitna samjayenge. So and then no, Krishna became little this one. No, he told this Nanda Maharaj like no, great people like you should not hold any secrets. And you see that no, I am your son, and exactly like no, I will also have to perform these yajnas. No, you should teach how this is done and things like that. And many arguments are there. I've not gone studied detailedly. So of all the different arguments that Krishna puts in the beginning. So, like he says these various things that no, you should not keep secrets, and you should teach me. Like no, and some people like they know what they are doing, so they get some good results. Some people they don't know only what they are doing, so they will not get good results. And like some people they do like this one yajnas based on the instructions of the Vedas, and some people they'll just simply concoct something and they will do. So what kind of yajna you are doing? So when Krishna asked so much, like then Nanda Maharaj actually sat down and then like took Krishna, and then he started explaining that no, you see, this is no Indra Puja that we are trying to do. See, like we are covered men, and no, we take care of cows, and cows require grass, and grass is coming from the rains, that is there, and rain is given by in the Indradev, he is the master of all the demigods, and he controls the clouds, and he sends the rains. And because of he is sending rains, we are able to sustain. We are able to eat our food. We are able to do everything. So now this puja is nothing but whatever gifts we have received from Indra. So we are offering as a like return gift, like to Indra to satisfy him. So this is the procedure of all the sacrifices. So whatever Krishna gives, everything we cannot give back. It is not possible also. Like we can only give a token, no in return. So if everything will give back, like no, what will that is also a problem. So that in short while we'll see Rajat will also ask, but the government is eating everything. No one will give for us. I mean, no prasad. Government is not giving any prasad. So then like Nanda Maharaj is saying that like no, we are giving as a token that because of Indra we got this nice nourishment for our cows and for ourselves. So like our wealth is this ghee, this butter and what is that, milk and yogurt and things like that. So we will offer them in return, as an offering to Indra. So this is this much he is mentioning. So then Krishna is like everybody also agreed upon Nanda Maharaj this one, and then Krishna was like externally smiling but then internally very much pained. So it is like I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I'm going to tell that everybody should worship only the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then here in my own village, this is happening. So my own people, so they are actually worshipping Indra. So now we see that how this is possible. Like even in an ordinary organization, if you see, there is a chairman or a CEO is there. So not everybody is following chairman or CEO. Everybody is working to their immediate manager only. So how is that Krishna is telling like you should exclusively worship me only? How is it possible? Like what is the logic behind? So then all that structure he has created in the universe, it's all waste or what? What is the solution for this? Why no we have to worship only Krishna directly? Yeah, that is good. Others a lot of
Accessible, like,
hmm?
is accessible through name, form, qualities, and pastimes, which
Hmm.
is not the case with the ordinary mortal beings.
Yeah, so he is accessible through his name, fame, pastimes, and things like that. So Krishna is accessible to all of us. Krishna is personally present as super soul in everyone's heart, and he is available for all of us. And one another important thing, keeping this concept aside, so we'll see the concept of what is a way of approaching the Supreme Lord. So what does Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says? Naham Vipro, Nachanara Pater, Shudra. So last, what is the last? This one. Gopi Bhavatar, Padakamalaya, Dasa, 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 and Dasa. So here also hierarchy is there. So that is like we are servant of our primary identity. Now when we are going back to the spiritual world, who are you? We tell we are servant of the spiritual master, we are servant of Srila Prabhupada. No, that is our identity. No, we get introduced like that. So it is very important to understand both these combinations. So when like we have the hierarchy, wherein the goal of each and every person is only to please Krishna. So then the immediate, our immediate boss, like our spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada, so even they are non-different from Krishna. So, but then if there is a hierarchy, where they have a little different idea from what the Krishna wants, so then that is not Krishna, right? So it is very, very important to understand this particular point. And even like we studied this also many times, like Yajna is a mode of goodness, and like worship of demigods, which is demoniac, right? So Yajna is a mode of goodness, so they worship Vishnu only, and then they offer the oblations, they offer the Vishnu prasad to demigods, and then they get some work done through them. And then in the case of demonic worship, directly the demigods are approached, as if understanding them to be independent, and they are independently, they are capable of giving no results to the people. So that is a problem. Now when we see something different from Krishna, so then it becomes material. So when we see how it is connected to Krishna, then it becomes spiritual. And in that connection also, we surrender. Why don't we surrender to demigods, seeing them as connection to Krishna? Why we surrender to the spiritual master in Prabhupada? Why we do this? Because they are completely in line with Krishna. They don't have anything, which is separate from Krishna. So they are completely in line with Krishna. So, but whereas the demigods, so they have their own personal interest also. That is why, like, we don't, directly surrender to this one. We don't take that line as so sacred as the line of surrender to the spiritual master, right? So that is most and in fact it is mentioned in Gaudiya Sampradaya, like what is the understanding of serving the devatas. So it is like Sarva Devo, like no, there is something is there, like the spiritual master is the representative of all the demigods. So by serving the spiritual master, one can satisfy and one can satisfactorily serve all the different demigods. So this is also very important principle that is there. So the worship of spiritual master, that is considered to be the like ultimate this one. That is why we say Sakshad Haritvena Samasta Shastra. And Krishna also mentions one who is like directly worshipping me, and he is not my devotee, but one who is a devotee of my devotee, he is my devotee. So that is the way like we actually approach Krishna. And like Krishna wants that no devotee should surrender to like an aspiring devotee should surrender to a like pure devotee of the Lord. And what does a pure devotee wants? So that we surrender to so he worships Krishna. So it's like a healthy competition. No, if you serve Krishna, devotee will become happy. No, if you serve devotee, Krishna will become happy. No, one person asked me like, no, whom should we serve? No, should we serve devotees or should we serve Krishna? What is the best thing? So either one of the things we end up hurting one person and eventually hurting another person also. So the good way is to serve both of them, right? So we should serve Krishna and we should serve devotees also. So that is when both of them will be happy. Otherwise, like one person will become unhappy and because of that, another person also will become unhappy. So that is very important that we serve, Guru and Krishna. So that is why we have this term like, serving Guru and Krishna, Guru and Gauranga, like that. So this is very, very important that we serve, both these personalities, equally. So then, here we see that, Nanda Maharaj, he is told this, and Krishna is not very happy. And then Krishna gives the argument. See, no, it's like this is Devatas. Like, what is so great about Devatas? No, our karma, our action is very important. No, you see, like we do some good activity, we'll get some good result. We do some bad activity, we get some bad result. So then Nanda Maharaj, no, I don't know whether he tried to clarify or not. So he tries to clarify, saying that no, you see, no, good and bad, is coming, but then there is somebody who is there to choose, whom to give good, whom to give bad. So, like, it is not that action in itself is going to determine all these things. Some devata is there, like, who is actually giving the results. So then Krishna argues, no, devata doesn't have any independence. No, these people, like, if you do good, then only they can give good results. Without doing good, no, will they give some good results to you? It is not possible. So based on their action only, they will give. And it is also seen that these people, like Indra is showering rain on rocks also, and in the river also, in the ocean also. Who is doing Indra Puja there? He is simply giving. He doesn't have any mind also. So, like that, Krishna is just putting some arguments. And then, there will be many other arguments. So, but then, finally, Krishna says one, very heavy statement, which everybody agreed. So if you do this, like, what is the purpose of doing this, all this puja? So, like, we should do puja to people, who are actually, giving us the good to us, and then, who also reciprocate to us personally. So then we, before coming to that big statement, like, Krishna puts another argument. Just remember that, has Indra ever come personally to accept your offering? So, like, he doesn't even care about, like, where is Indra and all. So he is there in the different heavenly planets. He doesn't even know you people exist. So, like, he's such an impersonal, demigod. So why are you worshipping him? So then finally he says that we should worship, Govardhan, and that worship will please me. So then immediately that actually covered, all the Vrajavasis. So this is one very important thing. We see that, here the picture that is shown is the Vrajavasis, they don't know who is Supreme Lord, or, like, they are even ready to worship Indra and things like that and all. So, like, what is the position of these people? How will they actually go to the position of becoming a Vrajavasis? So that is a very important thing. So yesterday, day before yesterday, we heard in Prabhupada class. So after accumulating volumes and volumes and volumes of punya, somebody will be able to get the opportunity to become a Vrajavasi. That is the position that is there. So now, these people have already performed so much of devotional service, lifetime after lifetime, and so much of, like, devotional credits they have accumulated, and they have come to this position. Their natural orientation is that they are quite divine. Their natural orientation is they want only to please Krishna and nothing else. That is their natural orientation. So, like, externally they may be doing so many different things, but then the natural orientation is, if Krishna will be pleased with something, they will be ready to do that. That is their natural orientation. So this we can see. The demonic people also, when their natural orientation is to defy the laws of God. Like, sometimes, one time Ajit told one case of one small kid in the train, how he was doing ruckus and it was pulling out everything. So it was like natural orientation. We can see from that we can actually understand what was there in the past, like what kind of sanskaras he has gone through and what kind of exposure that he has got. So the natural orientation is to not to surrender to Krishna, or not to, like, obey any rules and regulations and things like that. So we can see that it is no demoniac nature actually. And the divine nature is that the moment Krishna told it will please me, so every other consideration was given up, and then no, they agreed that no, this festival will be held. And then now it's a new festival, like nobody knows how to do, how to observe this festival. So they asked Krishna only like, no, what should be done, how should it be worshipped? So then no, recently I had gone to one devotee's house, no, Abhishek's house, and there, he actually played one small this one podcast of Radhavan Maharaj, like where this Krishna is describing the procedure of this one, and then Maharaj actually feels very much ecstatic and things like that. So he says that this what is that, a small boy, he just told that like you cook nice feast, and no, different people should be worshipped, and brahmanas should be worshipped, and then cows should be worshipped, and then Govardhan should be worshipped. So, how to worship the Brahmanas? No, you just prepare nice feast and no, achhe se khilao. That is the way worship the Brahmanas. How to worship the cows, and then you should give them nice grass. No, so and Maharaj tells that this will you do aarti, this, that, so many things like more than that, like you should achhe se khilana chahiye. And then for Govardhan, like undercoat and things like that. I don't exactly remember what Maharaj says for Govardhan. So, but then, like after that, he starts focusing on this point. He's just a small boy. He told, and everybody agreed upon that point. So that was like quite this one. So I don't have that feeling, so I cannot express that feeling. So, but then, like Maharaj was telling so nicely that particular point that no, these people are like so much affectionate to Krishna, even though he's a small boy. Like they didn't neglect. No, they just whatever he told, like no, they just simply followed. So that's the real devotion, that the Vrajavasis actually have towards Krishna. And after Krishna told all these things, huge arrangements started happening, and then I don't know, in the description it was not there. Like in one place I heard that they even went on top of Govardhan, and then they decorated Govardhan with nice clothes and flags and festoons and things like that and all. So then this one they arranged many carts of this one, boga was brought, rice and chapatis. So some place it is still chapatis. Some place, I heard that in Gaur Krishna Maharaj's class, like he was telling that what is this roti puri and all, like Krishna was having only rice. No, this veg ki roti ka concept kidhar se aaya pata nahi karke. So, but in other places it is mentioned that roti was existing. So it is a transcendental doubt whether roti was existing or not. So, but then, so nice dishes were brought, so much of wonderful bhoga were brought. And it seems like Krishna also gave this one ki like, nice sweets should be made, nice cakes should be made, nice this one, so many different things should be made and things like that. So they brought the bodies in Govardhan was filled with all this cart load of bhogas, they were brought. And Krishna also mentioned that like after worshipping Govardhan, so everybody should be fed, like right from Brahmanas to the Shudras, and also the Chandalas and the dogs and animals. Everybody should be fed with the nice prasadam. So they made such elaborate arrangement, and then now everybody is looking at Krishna. What should we do? So then Krishna is mentioning that all of you close your eyes and then offer prayers to Giriraj, and he will definitely accept your offering. And they close their eyes and they offer the prayers to Govardhan, and they see that a huge personality they have has appeared on top of Govardhan. So he had 2 hands or 4 hands. 2 hands, huh? Okay. Somewhere I read 4 hands. So like, he had amazing, huge form. So it is actually Krishna's expansion. Some places it is mentioned that, Krishna, like nobody respects Krishna in Vrindavan, so because like he's a common guy, one among them. So like he appeared in this form so that everybody can worship him and offer their obeisance and things like that. So when they opened their eyes, like this huge personality was there, and Govardhan was there, and this huge personality was also there, and they were like so much astonished to see this form. And then Krishna is also like one of them, and he's asking, "No, oh great personality, who are you?" In front of us. And then that personality says, "I am Giriraj. No, I have appeared in personal form. No, you people have affectionately called me. I have appeared here to accept all your offering. So now you see, like, no, I'm going to accept all your offering." He's just extending his hands, and it seems like from everywhere, food is flying. No, like. No, like anything into Krishna's mouth, no Govardhan's mouth. So and they're seeing like everything is getting exhausted. And then we know that famous pastime of how Govardhan is asking for more and more, aniyor, karke. So and then they keep bringing more and more boga, and like Govardhan is consuming more and more. And then finally some like wise person told that no, you should give some tulsi. That is when you'll be satisfied. So when tulsi was given, so then Govardhan was satisfied with all the offerings. And then the doubt, how like Govardhan is eating everything. So what will remain for us? Kuch to prasad milna chahiye. So then everything was like by the mercy of Krishna, like all the this one boga that they offered, so it again reappeared as Mahaprasad. So and also like it is mentioned somewhere that Nanda Maharaj, like he went to Govardhan, and then he folded his palms and he offered worship. And Govardhan asked, like, what do you want? So then Nanda Maharaj told, like, what do I want? I don't want anything for myself. I just want Krishna and Balram to be safe and happy and things like that. So that is the mood of the devotees of Vrindavan. So that whatever may happen, so they are only looking for Krishna's pleasure, Krishna's satisfaction. So then we see that then after all these things, so then further procedure that was explained was that they should keep they should first circumambulate the cows and bulls, and then after that, so they should keep the cows in the front, and then they should walk behind in parikrama. So first I think the cowherd boys, then cowherd men, and then the cowherd women. So all of them, they were I don't remember the sequence exactly. So they were present, and they were like actually starting to do the parikrama, and they were having nice time going around Govardhan. So after all this parikrama is done, and all the prasad is fed to all the devotees, all the brahmanas, and all the including all the animals, everybody were nicely fed with the prasad. So then everybody went home peacefully. So by then Indra became very angry. So by his spies, he got to know that he sent the spies saying that kuch bola nahi aaya aaj. Kali bol di humko. So then what is happening there? So then the spies came back and told big festival happened. No more than every year, this is much big festival happened. So more offerings are done. So but then I didn't got anything. What happened? To whom they offered? So वो तो पत्थर को पूजा किए. So they did offer worship to you, but then they worshipped this hill. So then Indra became very angry, and then he summoned the very dangerous clouds, and then he actually poured like heavy rains on the region of Vrindavan. So then it was told that everything became completely dark by the rain clouds, and nobody could able to see anything, and they were tormented by the pillars of rains that was actually coming. And then the cows were trying to protect the calves underneath them, and everybody are like so much in, everything is going haywire, and people are so much in distress. So that is when this particular shloka actually appears. And it's quite amazing that we see that devotees, they always take shelter of Krishna, and they don't so they want to serve Krishna. And the rest of the times we see that they want to give pleasure to Krishna, and they don't want to give any pain to Krishna, and they don't want Krishna to do anything. They want, they themselves want to do everything for Krishna. So that is the mood that they have. So but then when they get into difficulty, so this natural thing of taking shelter of Krishna so naturally appears. So that is very, very natural to the devotees. So we see that 6 symptoms of surrender, or 6 lakshanas of surrender. So that is there. So that is as a sadhana, we are asked to practice these 6 things. So but then for purified souls, that is quite natural. So as a sadhana, what we are supposed to do, whatever is favorable for Krishna, that we should adopt, that they adopted And whatever Krishna wanted, like no, he didn't want Indra Puja, he wanted Govardhan Puja, they accepted. And whatever is unfavorable to Krishna, so like no, he's told like no Indra Puja, like no, I don't like. Somewhere I heard that no, all the living entities should be fed except Indra. Krishna don't like that it seems. No, everything should be except Indra. So, no, so like so that no. They rejected no whatever Krishna doesn't like no they rejected and then no like considering Krishna their only protector no that is something very amazing no considering Krishna to be only protector so they actually approached Krishna in fact some places it is mentioned also at the end of Govardhan Puja no Govardhan responded back saying that he like now you all have nicely satisfied me you can all go back no and Indra will even if Indra commit no does something to you all I will protect you no go then no response like that it seems so then now when all this thing is happening no yeah so that Rakshashiti Vishwasho and then Gopata Taranam Tata so like no Krishna is our maintainer no they have complete confidence in that now sometimes they may show that sometimes they may like come out and ask Krishna's shelter and protection sometimes they may not but then this is their natural position they always are dependent on the Supreme Lord right so they're always dependent on the Supreme Lord so there is two things which philosophically we may have some difficulty in understanding so one thing is that like seeing the Supreme Lord as one's father wherein like he is our maintainer like that is one mood and the devotees in our line so they see Krishna is an object of service like we need to render service to Krishna right so like when we are trying to take care of Krishna how will we think that Krishna is taking care of us so this may be a little confusion but then this is the mood like it is a simultaneous existence of both moods there so underneath deep within a devotee knows that Krishna is actually my maintainer so but then like according to the like their intimacy with Krishna and by the arrangement of the Yoga Maya so they actually try to render service to Krishna right so this is very very important aspect like we render service to Krishna and then we are like being protected by Krishna so both the things are simultaneously there like how is it possible so when we advance in devotion service we'll know how it is possible now right now it is difficult to understand so that is why philosophy becomes easier to understand when we advance because it becomes natural and it is something like very ऐसा like ऐसा ही तो होता है like ऐसा होता है so then in the stage philosophy may appear like quite contradictory like or the mood of the devotees may appear quite contradictory now how is that like they render service thinking that Krishna requires like or Krishna should be taken care of and when difficulty comes they change the whole plate Krishna you are my maintainer like you should take care of me so like how is this happens like it is a mood that we can understand only when we like practically understand only when we advance in Krishna consciousness so we see that like they take shelter of Krishna and then Krishna immediately he gives them assurance we will don't worry like I will take care of you and then immediately he runs towards Govardhan he lifts Govardhan and he actually invites all the Vrajavasis inside and all of them they actually gather and it is like for next coming few days it's going to be a great festival for them festival is what is a festival means like intense remembrance of Krishna that is a festival actually so when we see that like when we are doing festival sometimes it is seen that Prabhu kitna festival karenge like festival means like so much of organization so much of what is that cooking has to be done and then transportation has to be done serving has to be done like so much of is there and then after a festival like वो अभी like और 2-3 हफ्ते तक कुछ festival नहीं अभी बहुत festival खत्म किए and then they went go until again another festival started and then it is mentioned it's like In the spiritual world, it is Nitya Utsavam. No, so after like initially it appears like okay, festival, no, Nitya Utsavam, acha hai, like So, but then after a few years in ISKCON, a few years of practicing, devotional service, if we hear this Nitya Utsavam, Prabhu, har koi festival is like, kya hoga? It is very difficult. I don't want to go back to that. So, kitna festival karenge? So that is why, because in our conditioned state, like there is another description was there when they were doing parikrama. At every step, they were feeling so much joy. Oh, this is so amazing and things like that. And our life is doing parikrama. So वो कितना गोला है और कितना किलोमीटर है, so they are thinking when it will get over. So, but then these people were they were enjoying at every step. That the whole experience of the whole Govardhan parikrama was so blissful for them. So they were enjoying at every step. So this is all about. Now we see even now, and this particular phenomena, and also the phenomena of like how with great confidence the Brajavasis entered into the underneath the Govardhan, not thinking that how will it fall. So they had some fear. So like it is explained that they had some fear, but then Krishna is calling, and somewhere I heard this dialogue that. Krishna told, see, if you people hesitate and if you stand in the rain, then I will get distressed. Then Govardhan will fall from my hand. So, but if you like, if you want to please me, like, if you are happy, then I'll be pleased. Then the Govardhan will stay. So, by force, they have to be pleased. So they were happy, like, happily they entered into underneath the Govardhan, and then like. They happily entered underneath the Govardhan, and then they actually were what is that? Having nice time over there, like seeing Krishna, taking darshan of Krishna constantly, and it is mentioned that many different people. Hare Krishna. So many different kinds of people were there, like the cowherd boys, the elder Vrajvasis, and then many all the different people were there, and the gopis were there. So they were generally in presence of others. They would not see Krishna like directly. They are they are supposed to follow the social custom. The social custom is that the women would always keep their veil, and then they would not directly look upon the Lord. So but then here now they got a very nice opportunity. So they were actually taking darshan of Krishna very nicely, and they were having outside there is so much of torment, so much of this one is happening, like storms and thunderbolts and various things. You can take a seat. So many things were happening. So, but then inside they were not actually feeling the pain of it. So this is the same thing. As sadhakas, we are also expected to do the same thing. If we want to get rid of the troubles of this material existence, then we need to have the intense absorption in the thoughts of the Lord. That is a thing which can actually immunize. So, like last week, one doctor was mentioning that if you have some raging thoughts, like mind is not very peaceful and things like that, you should do some meditation on a candle. You should see the candle and you should meditate upon that object and things like that. So, like, we were just thinking, that's one. We are thinking like, we are, what is it? We are preachers of Bhakti Yoga. Now, why will we follow this meditation? We will meditate on a inert object, not material object. We will meditate on Krishna rather. So that is more better than this one. But one problem. This meditation of the what is that? Generally, they this candle meditation and stuff like that. It was a little easier to perform, for materialistic people. Why? Because it's a material object. You can actually control the material object. You can actually force yourself to meditate on that particular object. But the problem with meditation on Krishna is Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhaved Grahyam Indriya. So we cannot force Krishna and bring him into our meditation, right? So sevan kehi jivada swayam spuratyada. Until unless we accept a mode of humility and we accept the mode of servant, we will not be able to invoke Krishna. Now that's a very key point. So that is why materialistic people they find it quite difficult to meditate on the on Krishna and derive these benefits like of becoming completely peaceful and things like that. So we can actually become no, we can actually access that. No, we are practitioners of Bhakti Yoga. So why we cannot meditate on no the holy name of the Lord? So we should be able to meditate on the holy name of the Lord. No, otherwise, what's the point of calling ourselves as Bhakti Yogis? So no, we will have definitely no difficulty. We will have definitely troubles. Someday the chanting will be good. Someday the chanting may not be good. So, but then we need to have this prayer to Krishna. When will that day come? When will I constantly, when I will constantly be able to meditate on you? No, when will I be able to constantly relish chanting the names of Krishna? So that mood and that prayer is very, very important. So if we don't have desire, so one problem with Krishna consciousness is if we don't have desire, Krishna cannot fulfill the desire. So that's the key thing. Like one of the important things is we need to have proper prayers and proper appeal to Krishna. So those devotees who want absorption in chanting, so they will get absorption in chanting by the mercy of the Lord. Provided the prerequisite is maintained, that is the mood of humility and mood of service to Krishna, right? So this is very, very essential. So if Krishna becomes displeased in any way, he is not going to award us his darshan. He is not going to come into our meditation. That's a very essential aspect. So that is why keeping chanting as a parameter, to see our absorption. So like it is very, see our progress is very nice. Like Srimad Bhagavatam also says that no, what is that? Dharma swa anishtita pumsam vishwakshayana katashaya na utpade ediratin no shamaya vehi kevalam. So like we may be like dharma swa anishtita, like we are executing our dharma. What is our dharma? As devotees of ISKCON, so we are supposed to attend the morning program, and we are supposed to study the scriptures, supposed to chant the names of the Lord, and then supposed to go out and book distribution, supposed to do preaching activities, and like supposed to like cook nice prasadam and feed people. All these things are our dharma. So this is what our acharya wants. We are doing all these things, but whether we are doing this nicely or not, dharma swa anishtita Vishwakshayana Katashaya now no. If the attraction towards the Lord, attraction towards the holy name is not coming, that means something wrong is happening in my execution of dharma. Right? So initially it's okay, but then after a few years or after at least many years, it should happen. Actually, in fact, it is possible to happen even in the beginning stages. It is quite possible. So we should aspire for and we should pray to the Lord. So it is like that is like sometimes it is called as throwaway thing. It is a throwaway thing. That means like it is just there. Like you can just get it, or it's just now when we say like where is your house? It is just a block away. Like that. So where is your spiritual perfection? It is just a prayer. It's just that we need to get the right mood and we need to actually offer that right prayer to Krishna. And Krishna is always ready. He is more than ready to offer blessings to the devotees. And he is like, this is what he is telling, Manmana Bhavamat Bhakta Madhyajimam Namaskuru. So please be absorbed in my thought. And then when we offer prayer, Krishna, you told that you please be absorbed in my thought, and I want to be absorbed in your thought. Please you shower your mercy upon me. So then Krishna will naturally be happy, because that's what Krishna wants, and that's what we are expected to pray to Krishna. And if we make that prayer, Krishna will become very happy and he will reveal himself. So we see that all the Vrajvasis, for them, like amazing presence of Krishna. So underneath the Govardhan hill, so they were actually having so much of relishment of being in the presence of Krishna, and in spite of having so much of trouble, like they were taken out of home. There could be one anxiety, like you tell all this Krishna consciousness and absorption in Krishna, like Gar Parivar kaun dekhenge? The whole thing, like they left the home and came, and the water is like torrents of rain is like washing off their homes, and they're so happy. So, and on the other hand, people are living in the homes and they're so much in anxiety. Like Prahlad Maharaj says, Sada Samudvitna Diyam Asad Krahat. So we are staying in a temporary illusory house, wherein this house is not going to stay forever, and it is just a temporary house, and it is going to pose Sada Samudvitna, like all the time it is going to constantly pose anxieties. But then here we see that these people are bereft of house. They are come out from their home, and then they are underneath a hill, and we never know like what is the consistency of the hill, like whether it's going to fall or it's going to stay and things like that. So, but then, no, they are happy there, no, being in Krishna consciousness. So it's a very important thing. No, amidst the difficult situations, no, which may be posing greatest of challenge, no, if we can absorb ourselves in the thoughts of the Lord, so that is the greatest immunity, no, from all the problems of life, right? So this absorption or this this Krishna consciousness is the prime thing that we have to practice, and especially we have to practice this in the most difficult situations. Now, whenever most difficult situation happens, sometimes it so happens that devotees have some like trouble with another devotee. So then devotee say like, no, I don't want to like practice this Krishna consciousness. You see this devotee like how he is behaving, like no, I don't want to be there in this kind of community. So then what is the practice of Krishna consciousness that we have made? So practice of Krishna consciousness is when we have trouble, we have to take shelter of Krishna. And if, for example, like if somebody has some difficulty of health, then reduce our devotional service. No, that should not happen. So in the difficult times, we should actually increase our devotional service. And then we see that when poverty strikes or some difficult situation actually comes in the economic side of a devotee. So then also devotee say like Prabhu, like no, abhi thoda, I have to focus on something else. No, after that I will focus on Krishna. So that is the thing. Now we see wholesale problem. All the problem that we can think of, everything attacked at one time. For the Vrajavasis, and even problem compounded upon problem and square and what is that, cubic root and things like that. All of them put together. So with so much of intensity of problem, so they choose to be focused on Krishna. And when they the moment they focused on Krishna, everything become all right for them, right? So they were not affected by the difficulties. Just like in the Sunday class, we were discussing this point that this material nature is there. It has its influence, but then to access its influence, we need to have certain things. We need to do certain thing. That is when we'll be able to access the negative effect of this material nature. Now, what is that we have to do? To get affected by the material nature. In the Sunday class, we were discussing. Getting attached to the fruits of our action. Now that is very essential for us to access. Just like live wire is there, until unless you touch, the current is there, but until unless you touch, you will not get the shock. So in the same way, the material nature is there. Until unless you become attached to the fruits of your activity, the material nature cannot disturb you, right? So this is one case. There are many other cases are there. This is one particular case. So in the same way, we see that this material nature is there. Now, what is the point I was mentioning before this? Huh? No. So in the spiritual aspect, so in the spiritual aspect also we see that the moment we take shelter of Krishna, so then immediately this material nature actually gives the way away. It cannot actually bind the living entity. When Krishna is there, when the meditation on Krishna is solidly there. And also we discussed this particular point. For great devotees like Vrajavasis, it is quite natural for them to focus on Krishna. Now for us, it is quite difficult to focus on Krishna. How do we take shelter of Krishna? So one fallback option, or one thing which acharyas often describe for sadhakas, is that how we access Krishna is we don't have the capacity to access Krishna just like what the Vrajavasis are accessing all the time. So we need to have the association of devotees who are brimming with Krishna consciousness, or even devotees who have Krishna consciousness by the support of another, by the circumstantial environment. Even then, that is also good. Most of the times we have association of devotees who are also like us, who are sometimes up and sometimes down. So, but then not everybody will be down all the time. So that's a good point about this. So we, even in the equal association, or even in the association of devotees who are sadhakas, so we can actually feel the Krishna consciousness, because not everybody are down all the time, right? So everybody have different levels of Krishna consciousness, and it keeps up and down. So then we get the benefit of the association, the Sangha. So in the association of devotees, we can actually bring about Krishna consciousness. And in one place, like one of my mentors actually was mentioning this particular point, that like you see the matchstick and the matchbox. No, both of them are there, but there is no fire. But if you bring them closer, the fire actually comes. So in the same way, two devotees are there, like they are there in their own place, in their own rooms, and then they are like feeling frustrated and things like that, because of lack of Krishna consciousness. But then if they come together, naturally topics about Krishna actually comes about, and naturally the fire of Krishna consciousness actually emanates. So that is why the Vaishnava association, the Vaishnava Sangha, is very, very essential. No, for pure devotees like Vrajavasis, or the exalted devotees like Vrajavasis, for them, it is quite natural for them to remember Krishna. And for us, it is not very natural, but then we can make it happen by the way of coming in association of devotees. That is the way we can actually invoke the presence of Krishna. Right. So with this, like I will just try to focus upon okay, now it is to share and discuss. It's quite difficult. So, but then we can just take the mood of Sri Chaitanya or see the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So there are a few things which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did in his Anta Lila pastimes. That is quite remarkable, and it is very important for us to see what is the highest goal that a devotee actually aspires for. So some things that he was doing is, he was constantly chanting the names of Krishna, and then he was constantly relishing the remembrance of Krishna, and then he was constantly in search for Krishna, and then he also, like every day he would go in the morning to take bath in the ocean, in the Jagannath Puri, and when he is going, like all the devotees also would go with him. And then one day what happened is, when they were taking bath and returning, so that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that there is a sand dune, there is a sand hill, that was actually there, and he considered it to be Govardhan, and then he offered prayers, as if that is Govardhan, and he started running, very swiftly towards that that sand dune, and then he actually fell to the ground, unable to keep up with this ecstatic emotion, and then all the devotees, they actually came and surrounded Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then they chanted, and they brought him to the external consciousness. And in fact, we see when we went to Jagannath Puri Yatra, so we went to this Chatak Parvat, so there, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had established this one, and in fact, that was his in the final days, he wanted to be there, in Jagannath Puri, and then, there in that particular area. So that is, sometimes the remembrance of the Lord, it is mentioned, in our three primary dhams. The Vrindavan is the dham where the pastimes of Krishna were enacted, and Mayapur is the dham from where Krishna consciousness will be spread, and Jagannath Puri, in one sense, is the Prayojana dham, whereas it is the it is the place where intense absorption about Krishna is there. And then we see that great devotees like Bhaktivinoda Thakur and also the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, so they established their bhajan kutis next to this Chatak Parvat, which is non-different from the non-different from Govardhan Hill itself. So in conclusion, I'll just try to highlight this point again, which we were, with the point with which we actually began our session. So the point of taking shelter of the Lord, right? So it is very, very important. Now, when devotees are in great trouble, they take shelter of Krishna. That is the essential. This one they actually try to do, and in fact, with the great anxiety and with great this one hope that they will be protected, they'll always take shelter of Krishna. And this particular prayer, which has which is very, very nice, and it has helped me in my practice of chanting. So again, I would like to share this particular shloka. No Krishna Krishna Mahabaha Tvam Natham Gokulam Prabhu Tratam Arhasi Devanaha Kupitat Bhaktavatsala. So to put this into practice, few important things are necessary. So one is that we need to understand how dangerous this material world is. No, so Maya's job is to keep us understand that, like, no, this material world is all good. No, it's okay to live here. And Maya's job is to also make us feel that, make us little low about Krishna consciousness, or not find our taste in Krishna consciousness, right? So somehow or other, by the association of devotees and by the way of studying the scriptures, and understanding the difficulties of this material nature, like we chant one prayer in the Sikshashtakam, that is the fifth stanza. What is it? This one, Ainanda Tanuja Kinkara Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha. So I have fallen into this ocean of material existence, and it is so dangerous. And the other bhajan that we often sing, that Gauranga Karuna Karo. So in that also it is mentioned that, like, how the living entity is fallen into this ocean of material existence. It is like so much turmoil is actually happening here, and a devotee always sees, always actually imagines, at least a sadhaka imagines this. And in advanced stages, somehow, like, they see it as Vishwam Purna Sukhayate. So, but in the beginning stages, the world should be seen like this, like Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha. Like, no, I have fallen into this ocean of material existence, and except for you, there is no other shelter. So this is a very important this one. So now we see that we are in danger, and then we have many different shelters. We have many different ways to get out of this problem. But then we take exclusive shelter of Krishna, and we want to get out of this problem only by taking shelter of Krishna, right? So, and this mood of taking shelter is quite important. So as we mentioned, so we are not like negating this one. So we are rendering Krishna service for his pleasure. So that is also a mood that needs to be preserved and protected. And like another mood is, like, we also cultivate the mood of, you are my maintainer and protector. So both these moods are essential for us, right? So, and especially while chanting, when we are vibrating the holy names of the Lord, and when we are hearing, so we should actually see that Krishna is personally present here, and he is my only shelter, and I don't have any other shelter, and I'm like tormented by any enemies of chanting you can think of, personal enemies. Thoughts come, and then sleep comes, and then planning comes. I know so many different things. No, it actually comes. Body pains comes. So we can actually address Krishna, saying, see, like, these kind of demons actually come and attack me. I am also your ward. No, I am also being protected by you. Like, no, I don't have any other this one. So like some people say, like, no, if you can do some stretching and things like that, you can get relief. So yeah, I will try to do that. But then if you give me shelter, like, if you can handle all these things, I can focus on the names and like planning and other things. Krishna, I know you are the best of all the brains. You can do the best of all the plannings. I'm sure. And Mata Smritir Jnanam Apohanam Cha, you can give me this remembrance later also. Like, I just simply want to take shelter of you. I just simply dependent upon you. And then when sleep comes, naturally when we have less sleep, the previous day, so sleep actually comes to us, and we have tiredness and things like that. And we see that the devotees, like, they were underneath Govardhan, they were taking darshan of Krishna, and for 7 days there is no sleep, there is no food and nothing, and they were like blissful. And of course they are like exalted devotees, but we cannot be so exalted, at least till the prasadam starts. Let me focus on this. Like, definitely I'll go and sleep. It is not that 7 days I'm going to be awake. No, at least those 2 hours let me be awake. So in that way, like, we can actually petition to Krishna, but this sleep is a big demon that is actually attacking me. You are Krishna, and you are protected protected your devotees always. For Vrajavasis, you are always protecting. I am just asking only 2 hours of protection. Please give me just this 2 hours of protection, and let me hear the holy names carefully. Right? So in this way, like, when we make personalized prayers, following in the same lines, as these great devotees, when we make these personalized prayers, because their demons are different. We don't have Aristasur, we don't different rains and things. We have some rains, like, it is not so bad, like rains of destruction. So we don't generally offer prayers for that. Sometimes, like, I see that because of our drain is getting blocked. Our drain from the terrace is getting blocked. Sometimes the rainwater comes inside the prasadam wall, and I fear sometimes it may come into my room also. Sometimes I offer prayer. So but then we don't have those problems, major problems of our life. So our major problem is we like the thing that is separating us from Krishna. During our chanting is our sleep, our thoughts, our mind wandering, and our some of our other tiredness and things like that. So I have interviewed many devotees in this subject matter of chanting. I wanted to know this one phenomena. So invariably, many devotees actually told when they are not able to focus on the chanting, even though we had nice rest on the previous day, we feel so tired. After the whole session of chanting, we feel so tired. So, but then, if you are able to focus on the chanting, even when we are tired and things like that, we feel very nice. After this one. So today morning only, I was taking interview for so I was telling yesterday, day before yesterday, he slept less, and then because of that, he was tired and headache was coming. And when he was chanting, he was able to hear the names of Lord clearly. And within 4 or 5 rounds, his headache went off and his tiredness went off. But slowly, as a ritual, he went into rest. That's a different. Then the feeling of relief was so amazing. The feeling of relief is there. Even in the sadhaka state, it's not that only the Vrajavasis, they were having the feeling of relief from this onslaught of Indra. No, even the sadhaka state, when we are able to hear the names of clearly, we will definitely feel the lightness. Even headache will go off, tiredness will go off. All the different pains that are there, everything will go off, and we will actually start relishing the holy name. So we should do remedy for all these things. No, it is not that we should not do remedy for all these things, but in the time of chanting, we should at least give an attempt to offer a prayer to Krishna. Now, this is a demon is there, and if Krishna chooses not to give any relief, then we can take this plan B, plan C. At least first we should give a option to Krishna that eventually we should come to the point of exclusively only to Krishna. I'm not going to take any other relief. I'm going to depend only on Krishna. So, but initially to convince our mind, other options are there, but first you take shelter of Krishna. We should try to do this thing and then experience the real bliss of Krishna consciousness. Right. So with this, I pause today's session. It's already a little late, so wishing all the devotees a very wonderful Govardhan Puja. And in today evening, we have very wonderful celebration in Sri Narsimha Giridhari Mandir. So all of us will try to go there. And here also the programs will continue. Like in IBC also the programs will continue. So the congregation devotees, whoever is assigned the seva, so they will come and render the services. So, but otherwise, we will all go and take part in real Govardhan festival. So it's not like Smriti or some different thing. So real Govardhan festival. So many different yoga items will be prepared, and the annakut will be prepared, and then nice offering of worship to the cows, and this one Govardhan will happen, and then the Brahmanas also will be nicely worshipped. So we'll take part in this wonderful festival in today's evening. Shri Govardhan Govardhan ki jai. So Shri Dandava Giridhari Shriman Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Lakshmi Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki jai. Panchatattva ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.